I know exactly what you are doing right now. You are holding your phone, staring at her contact name, and you are drafting a text in your head. Maybe you're thinking, if I just explain how much I love her, she'll come back. Or, if I just remind her of that trip we took, she'll remember the good times. Stop. Put the phone down. Because the moment you press send, you lose. You think you are fighting for the relationship, but what you are actually doing is suffocating the only spark of attraction she has left for you. Today, I'm going to teach you the hardest thing you will ever have to do, but it is the only thing that actually works. We are talking about the psychology of silence. I'm going to show you why going completely dark is the only way to trigger her fear of loss, and how silence, when used correctly, screams louder than any paragraph you could ever write. Welcome to Modern Masculine. If you are tired of chasing and ready to let her come to you, this is the video you need to watch. Let's jump right into it. First, we need to understand what happened the moment she broke up with you. In her mind, she has the upper hand. She is the chooser and you are the chaser. She expects you to panic. She expects the long texts, the flowers, the pleading. And as long as you are doing those things, you are feeding her ego. You are validating her decision to leave because you are showing her that you are beneath her, desperate for her approval. Let me paint you a picture of what most guys do wrong. The breakup happens on a Sunday night. By Monday morning, he's already sent 3 texts. The first one says, "Hey, can we talk? I think we can work this out." The second one, 2 hours later, "I know I messed up, but I can change. Just give me another chance." And by evening, he's sending paragraphs about how much she means to him, how empty his life feels without her, how he can't imagine his future without her in it. And what is she doing while reading these messages? She's showing them to her friends. They're all sitting around saying, "Girl, he's so desperate. You made the right choice." Every single message you send is proof to her and everyone around her that she won, that she has power over you, that you need her more than she needs you. But when you go silent, you break the loop. You see, silence is a pattern interrupt. When you disappear, you starve her ego of the validation it's addicted to. She expected you to fight. She expected you to beg. She might have even told her friends, "Watch, he's going to blow up my phone tonight." But you don't. Days pass. A week passes. And suddenly the narrative in her head starts to shift. Think of it like a seesaw. When you are down here, giving her 100% of your attention and energy, she is up here, looking down on you. The only way to level the playing field is to step off the seesaw. When you step off, she crashes down. The power dynamic flips instantly. When you go silent, she suddenly has to ask herself, "Wait, why isn't he fighting for me? Did I mean nothing to him? Is he talking to someone else? Did he move on already?" Here's what's happening psychologically. Women are hardwired to seek validation. It's not a character flaw, it's biology. When that validation stream suddenly gets cut off, it creates what psychologists call cognitive dissonance. Her brain is confused because the reality doesn't match her expectations. She expected you to chase. You didn't. That confusion creates doubt. And doubt creates curiosity. And curiosity creates attraction. Silence turns her confidence into confusion. And confusion is the first step toward attraction. The moment she starts wondering about you, you've already won half the battle. Now, you need to understand the timeline because most men fail because they quit too early. They go silent for 3 days, don't get a text, and panic. They think, maybe she doesn't care. Maybe I need to reach out. Listen to me, she is not going to miss you in 3 days. What? Because immediately after the breakup, she is in the relief stage. She feels free. She feels unburdened. She's probably out with her friends, posting Instagram stories, maybe even flirting with other guys. If you text her during the relief stage, you are just an annoyance. You are interrupting her freedom. She'll read your message, roll her eyes, and maybe even screenshot it to show her friends how pathetic you're being. But here's what most men don't understand about the timeline. The relief stage doesn't last forever. It can't. Because relief is a surface emotion. It's the adrenaline rush of a new chapter. But underneath that relief, there's a void. And that void gets louder with time. Look at the timeline. After relief comes curiosity. This usually kicks in around week 3 or 4 of total silence. This is when she expects you to reach out and you don't. Let me walk you through what she's experiencing week by week. Week 1, she's riding high. She's telling herself she made the right decision. She's maybe even dating or talking to other guys. She's convinced herself that you were the problem, and now that you're gone, life is going to be better. Week 2, the relief starts to fade. She's starting to settle into her new routine. She notices small things, like how quiet her phone is, how nobody's asking her about her day the way you used to, how the guys she's talking to are nowhere near the connection she had with you, even on your worst days. Week 3 is where the magic happens. This is curiosity stage. She checks your social media. She asks mutual friends about you. She starts replaying memories in her head. And here's the kicker. You still haven't reached out. This drives her crazy because her ego can't comprehend it. She starts thinking, why isn't he broken? Why isn't he fighting for me? Does he not care? Did he already replace me? The silence creates a vacuum. Human brains hate vacuums. We need to fill them with answers. Since you aren't giving her answers, she has to make them up. And the stories she makes up in her head are always worse than reality. She starts thinking, he must be doing really well. He must be strong. Maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I was the problem, not him. Maybe he's with someone else now. Maybe she's prettier than me. Maybe he's happier without me. See how her thoughts spiral. That spiral only happens if you stay silent. If you text her in week 2 or 3, you reset the clock back to relief stage. You confirm to her that you're still the desperate guy she left. But if you hold strong, she moves from curiosity into the final stage, regret. She cannot enter the regret stage until she passes through the curiosity stage. And she cannot be curious about you if you are constantly updating her on your life. You have to disappear to be missed. This is not game playing. This is psychology. Let's talk about value. And I mean real value, not what you think value is. We only value things that are scarce. Things that are hard to get. If I told you I had 1,000,000 rubber bands in my garage, would you want one? Probably not. But if I told you I had one original Picasso painting, suddenly everyone wants to see it. What? Scarcity creates value. If you are blowing up her phone, you are the discount bin item. You are easy. You are available. You are cheap. You're the guy who's always there, always waiting, always hoping she'll change her mind. And women do not respect that. They can't. Because respect is earned through boundaries, not through availability. But a man who can walk away. A man who can control his emotions enough to stay silent even when he's hurting? That is a high-value man. That is the Picasso painting. That is the scarce resource that suddenly everyone wants. Let me show you the contrast. Let's say there are two guys. Guy A and Guy B. Both got dumped by their girlfriends. Guy A does what most men do. He texts her every other day. I miss you. Can we talk? I saw something today that reminded me of you. Remember when we went to that restaurant? He's commenting on her Instagram posts with heart emojis. He's liking every story she puts up. He's making himself available, visible, and desperate. Guy B goes completely dark. No texts. No calls. No social media activity on her posts. He unfollows her. He removes her from his life digitally and emotionally. He hits the gym. He focuses on his career. He spends time with his boys. He posts occasional stories of him living his life, not to make her jealous, but because he's genuinely moving forward. Now here's what happens. Guy A's ex feels validated. She knows she has him on a leash. She can pull that leash anytime she wants attention and he'll come running. There's no mystery. There's no challenge. There's no attraction. Guy B's ex? She's confused. She's checking his profile multiple times a day. She's asking mutual friends, have you talked to him? Is he seeing anyone? She's replaying their relationship in her head, wondering if she made a mistake. She starts to idealize him because he's no longer accessible. The human brain always wants what it can't have. When you go silent, you are indirectly communicating, I love you, but I love myself more. I will not beg anyone to be in my life. You're saying, I have standards. I have dignity. I will not lower myself for anyone, not even someone I deeply care about. That is incredibly attractive to women. It signals that you have options, that you have a backbone, and that you are emotionally stable. Women don't fall in love with men they can control. They fall in love with men they have to work for. Men who have standards. Men who won't tolerate disrespect or half-hearted effort. Women do not go back to weak men out of pity. They go back to strong men out of respect. Silence restores the respect that you lost when you started begging. It repositions you from the guy who needs her to the guy she needs. And that shift is everything. This is a psychological concept you need to know. It's called the fading effect bias. And it's the secret weapon that time gives you if you use it correctly. Right now, immediately after the breakup, she remembers the fights. She remembers the tension. She remembers that argument you had 3 weeks ago where you said something hurtful. She remembers the night she felt neglected because you were too focused on work. She remembers every single reason she convinced herself to leave. Her emotional immune system is high. She's protecting herself from you. Every time you text her, you remind her of the drama. You restart the negative memory cycle. You're the guy who won't leave her alone, who can't accept the breakup, who's emotionally unstable. You become the very thing that justifies her leaving. But here is the magic of silence. If you stay away long enough, the negative memories fade faster than the positive ones. It's how the brain is wired. This isn't opinion, this is neuroscience. Research shows that negative emotional intensity decreases faster than positive emotional intensity over time. What this means in plain English is that the pain of your arguments will fade before the joy of your good times does. But this process takes time. And it only works if you're absent. Let me give you concrete examples. Right now, she remembers that fight you had about her going out with her friends. She remembers feeling controlled or judged. She remembers the tension. But if you give her 2 months of silence, that memory loses its emotional charge. It becomes, yeah, we had that disagreement, but honestly it wasn't that serious. Meanwhile, she starts remembering other things. She remembers the time you surprised her with flowers for no reason. She remembers how safe she felt sleeping next to you. She remembers the inside jokes you had that nobody else understood. She remembers how you were the only person who truly got her sense of humor. She remembers the sex. She remembers waking up next to you on Sunday mornings. If you give her space, the bad memories will start to blur, and the good memories, the laughs, the intimacy, the connection, will start to surface. They become brighter, more vivid, more emotionally significant. She starts to romanticize what you had. But this only happens if you are absent. You have to let her forget the annoying you, so she can remember the attractive you. You are literally using time as a weapon to change her mind. Every week you stay silent is another week the negative memories fade and the positive memories strengthen. This is why guys who break no contact too early always fail. They text her while she's still in the negative memory phase. She reads the text and all she feels is annoyance. But the guys who wait, who let the fading effect bias do its work, they're the ones who get the I miss you text at 2 a.m. Now, if you do this right, if you hold the line, she will reach out. It might be a breadcrumb, a random, hey, or a, I left my shirt at your place. It might be something more direct like, how have you been? Or, I've been thinking about you. Do not, and I repeat, do not vomit your feelings all over her. This is where most guys fumble the ball at the 1-yard line. They go 30, 45, maybe even 60 days of no contact. They do everything right. They build themselves up. They stay silent. And then she texts. And they see that notification and their heart jumps and every ounce of discipline they had goes out the window. They think, oh thank God she's back. She realizes she made a mistake. And they send a paragraph. I'm so glad you reached out. I've missed you so much. I've been thinking about you every day. I know we can make this work if we just try again. I've changed. I'm not the same guy. Please let's meet up and talk. Game over. You just lost. What? Because she wasn't reaching out because she made a decision to come back. She was reaching out because she was curious. She wanted to see if you're still the same desperate guy she left. She was checking to see if you're still on the hook, still waiting for her, still orbiting her life hoping for scraps of attention. She texts you, match her energy. This is critical. If she sends you a short, casual text, you send back a short, casual text. You do not escalate. You do not overinvest. Let me give you specific examples of how to handle different scenarios. Scenario 1, the breadcrumb text. Her, hey. Wrong response, hey. Oh my God, it's so good to hear from you. How have you been? I've been thinking about you. Can we talk? Right response, hey, what's up? See the difference? You acknowledged her, but you didn't hand her your heart on a platter. You're calm. You're neutral. You're not chasing. Scenario 2, the I left something at your place text. Her, hey, I think I left my charger at your place. Can I come grab it? Wrong response, yes. Of course. When do you want to come? I'm free anytime. We can also hang out and catch up if you want. Right response, I'll check when I get home. If it's there, I'll let you know and we can figure out a time. You're being helpful, but you're not jumping at the chance to see her. You're treating her like you'd treat anyone else, polite but not eager. Scenario 3, the emotional fishing text. Her, I've been thinking about you lately. How have you been? Wrong response, I've been thinking about you too. I miss you so much. I've been working on myself and I think we could really make it work this time. Right response, I've been good, staying busy. Hope you're doing well. This response is powerful because it's friendly but distant. You're not giving her the emotional reaction she's looking for. You're showing her that you've moved on emotionally, even if you haven't completely. Here's the key principle. Keep it polite, keep it brief, and end the conversation first. You need to show her that while you are friendly, you are no longer waiting for her. You're not rude. You're not cold. But you're also not available in the way you used to be. That subtle shift is what makes her panic. That is what makes her feel the loss for real. When she realizes that you're not sitting around waiting for her to decide she wants you back, when she realizes that you've actually moved on and she might lose you permanently, that's when real regret kicks in. If she wants you back, she's going to have to work for it. She's going to have to prove to you that she's worth the risk. And she's only going to do that if you maintain your standards and your dignity throughout this entire process. Listen, I know this is painful. I know every fiber of your being wants to drive to her house and fix it. I know you're lying in bed at night replaying every conversation, wondering what you could have said differently. I know you're looking at old photos and torturing yourself with what-ifs. But you cannot fix emotions with logic. You can only fix emotions with space. You cannot argue someone back into loving you. You cannot explain your way back into her heart. The only thing that works is absence. Give her the gift of your absence. Let her feel the weight of a life without you in it. Let her experience what it's like when you're not there to text her good morning, when you're not there to listen to her problems, when you're not there to make her laugh. Let her miss you. Let her wonder about you. Let her regret losing you. If she loves you, the silence will bring her back. If she doesn't, the silence will help you move on with your dignity intact. Either way, you win. Because you're no longer living in limbo, waiting for someone to decide if you're worthy. You're taking back your power and choosing yourself. If you are currently in no contact and struggling, drop a day 1 or day 30 in the comments so we can support each other. Let's build a community of men who refuse to beg for love. Hit that subscribe button if you want to become the man she regrets losing. This is Modern Masculine. Stay strong. Cheers.